Well, with that, we're still going. My wife's away for most of the weekend, and I got nothing else to do. I at least need to see if we can get ourselves set up here to showcase these 5 stars. So before we talk about the heartbreaking departures, Mr. Hendershot is very well spec'd. Very well spec'd. And then Ty is spec'd fully into the defense, as you would expect. Yeah. So it would make sense to spec more into the offense to get them both to be very well-rounded. If we go Recruiter tab, or, again, bonus XP for school grade or prestige increasing, or here we try to make kickers and punters better, but we've had higher-rated kickers and punters, and I still feel like they're inconsistent shit. So, quarterback start hot in the 4th. Also wasn't bad, but let's spec for the first time into the recruiter tab. Focus on the offense to balance it out with our coordinators. There we go. Does your wife hate kids yet? No, not yet. Give it time. All right. So, on offense, we say goodbye to Dalvin and the Chipmunks. Stepped in at a big time of need. Greg Jennings will go down as one of the best players, I'd say, in the history of this program. And Weeson Eason with a hell of a catch over Baylor. It's just a shame it didn't lead to a bit more. Guaranteed chance to keep Payne Spain. So, yeah, you're staying, buddy. Thank you. Defensively, we say goodbye. Oh, man. Baseball caps. MS-DOS, both going in the first round, potentially. John Wilkes Lincoln. Mommy left Pape. Spencer Gifts. Jadarius Descarius. Downloaded Torrents. Keenan Enkel II. And Raekwon Wan. All graduating. That's a big hit to the defense there. The good thing is we do have quite a bit of defensive help, but that is a big hit to the defense. I wish we beat Tennessee. God damn it. We almost did. We almost did. Draft results. First round for Dawson Caps. Wilkes Lincoln goes in round number 4. Our pro potential still looking good. In terms of the portal, we are allowed here to target 2 5-stars. I'd prefer them to be available in the portal, so we don't have to wait. However, there are no 5-stars in the portal, so we'll be able to target them in the preseason. But in terms of who is available in the portal, let's take a look. We have 5 players. Taj Rivas from Michigan, K-State's Mike Osborne, Louisville's Max Sabry, Washington's Isaac Darling, and Dion Hedgie from Illinois. Okay. That is all right. And then, are there any 4-stars that still have interest in us? No. And all the 5-stars are gone. Not worth targeting 3-stars. So we will focus on who we have available here, although it's not going to be the most expansive list in the world, but it is what it is. Okay. So a lot of these guys, athletes that could potentially play quarterback. I mean, we did already start to look at 3-stars, I suppose. They were the ones that were most interested in us. 1,200 points. Let's get some scouting in there. So Travis Watkins, 4-star QB. Takes 2 clicks to scout him out. 90 throw power. Definitely targeting him. Jeff Garvin is a bust. Not the worst, but we'll move on from him. Sammy Stammer is also not good enough, so he's gone. Then the athletes. Trayvon Cleveland is a gem. We'll keep him. Kyle Vaughns. Tough to say. He's not going to be a quarterback. We obviously don't know what else he can play. But he's definitely not a QB. He's not the fastest in the world either. I'm going to say no. Well, George Gunter. At least has 88 speed as an athlete. It's a little bit better than the other guy. The awareness isn't great. He's on the edge here. And then CJ Washington. Too slow. Play anywhere else. We'll leave Gunter just because we need a body at this point. Running back, Dalton Gaylor. 90 speed. He's an athlete. We'll definitely keep him around. Fullback, Larry Rabb is a gem. Might have him on the O-line. Tight end, Devin Brink. It's nothing special. He's nothing special. On the O-line, Taj Revis out of the portal. 98 pass block power. Jesus Christ. At center, Kendall Ruggs is a gem. 90 strength. He's got a long way to go on other options, but at least he is strong. Defensive end, Mike Osborne. 97 strength, 92 block shedding. Absolute beast. Isaac Darling. 88 tackle, 88 finesse. Also a beast. Dion Heggie. 93 strength, 91 tackle. Beast. Chad Bloom at linebacker. Platinum winning time. He's a gem. Max Sabry. 92 tackle. He's a beast, too. Very nice. Anybody else? That is it for that. Okay. So, 16 targets left. Let's make sure that all of the newbies have their scholarships. And we can kind of decide if we want to target anybody else. It depends on how many points we're going to have left over here. Because we need to immediately go all in for these portal pickups. So, let's see. Based on the portal pickups, there is 5 of them. Okay. Championship contender for Dion. Immediately get him scheduled, and we can now put 60 points on him. Darling cares about coach prestige. We can do that pretty successfully as well. And immediately get him on to 60. Sabry has us in first, so you know what? Let's not have him on a visit. Let's have him doing everything else. Osborne, what's your interest? Contender. And again, we got to make as strong of a push. We have not had a ton of portal luck over the history of this challenge. I mean, when it's worked out, it's been great, but, you know, we talked about the fucking quarterback that went to Monroe and players like that. We could have had better luck. Max Sabry, we'll get you scheduled for next week, though. Can get you on pro potential. And then from here, hard sell for the guys that we have already had on our list. Just to try to seal the deal there. Is there one with coach prestige? There it is. Perfect. George Gunter. George Falter. That's your preference. How many guys do we have here? Chad Bloom, he's ready to blue. So, alright, we should have enough points to pull this off. Cleveland in there. Yep, we do. Cool. Larry Rabb. And not that we necessarily need a fullback. But then again, our fullback might be able to play somewhere else, and we can move this guy. And then Watkins. Hard sell. There we go. The extra 20 points. Ruggs, Bloom, Cleveland. We'll go for Ruggs because we're only in second for him. And then another gem. Let's just go with Chad Bloom. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I wish there were more players we could add to our list, but who knows? Maybe we'll take some last-second shots. We'll have plenty of recruitment points. We do get quarterback Travis Watkins. Didn't get locked out for anybody, so that's not a bad way to start. Still showing up as an 88 overall team, too, which is pretty nice. All right, so he was actually top of the board already. So Rab had those 40 points. Let's get you closer to 60 and schedule you for a visit after, because we need to send... Sabry's already got the visit. All these guys already got the visit. Never mind. Actually, Rab, because he's a fullback, we are going to wait. Cleveland. We are in first for you, but let's schedule that visit. Let's get you on proximity to home. Bloom. Points on you. Schedule you on contender. Honestly, fuck it. Let's just schedule Rab. Championship contender. The Gunta. You want more points? Schedule you next week for Coach Prestige. Gaylor, the extra couple of points. We're still going to have points left over. I mean, we can definitely see if there's still anybody out there. I mean, 3 stars, we'd have to be looking for gems just because there's nobody else. Ruggs is already looking good. Schedule you for a visit. Contender. All these guys already have visits. Yeah, we got 335 points left. We might as well just look. But then again, we already looked at all the 3 stars that were athletes, too. Maybe a better kicker-punter combo. I mean, I guess you could just say we have who we have, though. Good look at safeties. Maybe just defenders in general. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these guys. See if there's anybody that we'd want to target last second. Not the 3 stars are totally ideal for us right now, but beggars can't be choosers. That's why we spec'd, of course, into recruitment with these coordinators. It took us way too long to try to lock down those 5 stars before. So Doug Tam. There's a free safety. 64 zone. Nah, he's not good enough. What about Henry Terrell? Had a feeling when he had platinum clear-headed that he was going to be a gem. So Henry, let's talk. Jose Goddard. Also a gem. His current attributes aren't amazing, but hey. We could do worse. Frederick Hay. In fact. Not a gem. Zone and man aren't that good. Randy Shitu. More like Randy Shitter. He is not good. What about Torrey King? Tackle and acceleration aren't bad. Block shedding's not good enough, though. Dominic Chick is a bust. And the last guy is Slade McClover. We'll just offer him a scholarship because we got points left over. So we really have exhausted like all of our options here for what we want to do. It's a bit of a bummer, but we do get the fullback Larry Rabb. Got locked out from McClover at the end. Okay. At this point, it's a waiting game. At this point, it's a waiting game. Those guys aren't ready for visits. Are there any 3 stars left in the portal? It's really kind of the last thing to look at. We got 2 different tight ends, Gerald Brent and Alex Royals, both trying to transfer out of Michigan-based schools. Gerald Brent. Nothing special about you. Sorry, Gerald. What about Alex Royals? Clear-headed, good catching. We like him. We can make a push for Mr. Royals here. We still have so many points that I can't do anything with. Damn. Might So I'll look at the offensive 3 stars that we haven't looked at yet. Hell of a lot of quarterbacks still left, as always. And a lot of people on the O-line. Shout to Paul Officer. Paul Officer. Tight ends. Holy hell. Oh, we have a lot of points to use. That's a lot of players to look at. Cool. Javier Rattay. Nothing special about you. I mean, good strength, but... Well... I mean, only 80, isn't he? Nah. What about Paul Officer? Not good enough, my man. Not good enough. Aaron Starks. I mean, right now, we're pretty much gem hunting and, like, trait hunting. Bob DeMarco is a bust. Hate to see it. Frederick Gaddis. Not good enough. And then what about Dennis Easy? He's a bust. It was probably, Oh, Wally, what's up? It was a bad day for a lot of people. Bad day for a lot of people. For sure. Really want to look at that many tight ends. Or would I rather look at the crap load of wideouts? Probably wideouts, given the situation that we've been in. Somebody's got to be good out of this crop of talent, right? Taylor Pope. There's no more defensive backs to look at. We'd have to go further down. 90 speed, 87 jumping. This guy's okay. Right? He's all right. He's at least fast. We'll say hello. What about James Anthrop? Platinum best friend, 89 speed, 85 jumping. Yes, sir. Talk to Mr. Anthrop from Antwerp. Maurice Ibarra. 92 jumping, 90 speed. Son of a... Okay, let's just get a bunch of freaks that can play wide receiver. I'm here for it. Roderick Johnson. 92 speed, 94 jumping. All right, let's just try to get some freak athletes that might be able to play wide receiver. Why not? Why not? We head to the final week. We get Dalton Gaylor. Taj Revis, who was in the portal. And that's the week where a lot of other portal options say, fuck you, we're not coming here. I swear to God, Kentucky steals somebody that we're targeting from the portal every single year. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Bastards. At least we got Taj Revis, but it is annoying how many times we don't land players from the portal. Ugh. Alright, well, Roderick Johnson here. Let's just randomly put points on you, and again, we'll just see if we can make up any ground. Why not? Raheem Terrell. There's a gem. Platinum Road Dog, 93 speed, 90 jumping. Full beans. What about Jerry Lamar? Also a gem. Doesn't quite have the speed I'm looking for by 1 point. Jerry, come on down. Braden Sly. 91 speed, 88 jumping, platinum winning time. Yes, please. Targeting all the wideouts here at the end. Trevor Bowman. No. Dozier's out. Allgaier. 90 speed, 91 jumping. Literally just trying to find some wideouts at the end. That's it. Final two. Brian Boyce. 90 speed. Platinum winning time. Apparently a gem. A little bit concerned about some of the other options, but you know. Whatever. And then Ben Finger. 90 speed, 90 jumping. Screw it. Let's go for him. Okay. Couple quarterbacks still in the mix. We already got one. We got 2 running backs this year. Fullback, wideouts. Technically could look at some of those tight ends that are left. We didn't really need O-line help. Defensive line, linebacker, there wasn't much left aside from the safeties. Which means we might, in fact, have to kind of rework our defense a little bit. We'll see what happens. There's no athletes left. There's nobody else left on the portal. Imagine. I mean, there's the 3-star Brent, but he wasn't that good. And then these guys are all offensive portal players. I mean, fuck it. Do I look at the 2 centers from the portal? Let's look at the 2 lower level centers from the portal. Why not? Stephen Walker. Sorry, Stephen. Not quite good enough. You're not bad, but what about Barry Harvin? He's got platinum winning time and 86 strength. You know what, Barry? Old Barry. Let's see what we can do for you, buddy. There you go. We'll see how many of those wideouts we end up with. This could be hilarious or nothing might happen, right? Pretty typical. We got linebacker Chad Bloom, quarterback George Gunter, tight end Alex Royals, safety Henry Terrell, safety Jose Goddard, wideout Taylor Pope, wideout James Anthrop, wideout Roderick Johnson, wideout Damian Allgaier, wideout Brian Boyd. We got a couple of them. We did get a couple of them. Not bad. Not bad. People said we needed wideouts. Be careful what you wish for. So overall, where was our class ranked? Georgia, ASU, USC, LSU, and App State were the top 5. Kansas only brought in 3. Dude, Kansas. Dude, I cannot believe how shit they are in this timeline. They are god-awful. We were number 21 in the country. 2 5-stars, 4 4-stars, and 14 3-stars. Our highest rating ever. 21st. So at quarterback, Travis Watkins, normal dev. Cleveland, impact dev. Gunter, impact dev. The latter 2 being athletes. Running back, impact dev for Clemens. Normal dev for Dalton Gaylor. So Clemens was only impact dev as a 5-star. But obviously still a fan. Elite dev fullback, Larry Rabb. I love me an elite dev fullback, baby. Let's go. Let's go. It's not even close to our first elite dev fullback either. At wideout, normal dev for 5-star Rubens. So yeah, see a 5-star. Good attributes, but only normal dev. Star dev for Conrad Kruger. Impact for Jeremiah Lowe. Normal for Taylor Pope. Star dev for Anthrop. Normal for Ibarra, who we lost out on. Normal for Johnson. Kentucky gets an impact dev. Lamar, star dev. Kentucky gets another impact dev. Allgaier, star dev. Boyce, star dev. And Finger, normal dev. To Louisiana Tech. So we got quite a few star dev wideouts. Let's fucking go. Tight end, elite dev, tight end, the 3-star, Alex Royals. Let's go. On the O-line, impact dev for Taj Revis, who comes over through the portal. Obviously an upperclassman, though. Arvin was normal dev, whatever. Linebacker, impact dev for Chad Bloom. Star dev for Henry Terrell, impact for Jose Goddard. I mean, I can see why we had a good recruitment class. I can. Awesome. So then, the hell is this team gonna look like? And to be honest, I mean, there's a lot we could change. There is a lot that we could change. Watkins, by the way, is a 74 overall quarterback out of the gates. A lot of running backs, a lot of wideouts now, especially freshmen. Tight ends in the mix. How's our defense looking? Not bad. You could argue not amazing, though. I think if we prioritize people playing defense, could end up in an interesting spot. So I meant to sort this. If we look at quarterbacks first. there anybody, like, if somebody can play defense, I want to put them there first. I mean, even Deacon Batista. Even the Deacon himself. Could be moved to the secondary for now. Is there anybody else tackling? Man or zone. And then again, if someone's tackling is that bad, I'm not going to want to put in zone. Deacons was 63, so it's at least decent. Anybody else who could potentially move to the defensive side of things? Not looking too good so far. And then Jefferson's already a defender. So Deacon's literally the only one who might have a better future on the defensive side, outside of athletes as well. So let's move old Batista over, and let's take a look at the 6 athletes that we brought in. And we're looking at everybody except for Gunter and Cleveland. I need to at least see what they can do on the defensive side. Because we need to make up the numbers on that side, even if someone might be amazing elsewhere. Kind of have no choice right now. Because we still have a really good team. Alright, and then Scotty Clemens. Also potentially going to the secondary. So we'll come back to these other 2 athletes here. They couldn't play defense. Gunter could be an okay-ish route runner, but not great. He's okay at catching the ball. I mean, Cleveland is carrying, is solid. I mean, he's shaping up to be a running back or a quarterback. While Gunter, running back, wide out. Doesn't quite have the size to be a tight end, but maybe. Right past throw power. I do that every goddamn time. It's just in such a weird spot. Cleveland could be, yeah, quarterback. Gunter, not so much. So let's move Gunter to running back here. And I think we'll put Cleveland at quarterback. This is his best position, so that leaves us with how many QBs? That'll be 3. Casey, Cooks, and Conheeney, with Watkins and Cleveland. We're shaping up to have a little bit of trouble at the quarterback position because we haven't been able to bring in that top-notch player. But that's good for right now. We're all in agreement with what George's name will be. Will you be in agreement, though? Let's solve the defense first before the offensive side. So it's safety, 90 speed. That's good. 90, 90. Goddard. Move you to defensive end. And then Scotty Clemens. At the moment, you're going to linebacker. As is Henry Terrell. Corners, that's all good. Yeah, I think we're going to have to change our restrictions here, although maybe not. Damian Allgaier can move. Lloyd also now has the speed to be useful in the secondary, as does Dalton Gaylor, who we just brought in. Okay. So what's the secondary look like numbers-wise? We got 6. That's not bad. That's not bad. That might actually work out pretty well. And linebackers will have plenty of depth. Defensive tackle looking okay. Defensive end is also going to be looking okay. Jefferson could also temporarily move the linebacker. Okay, I think that's all right. So are any of these guys significantly better at man than zone? Lloyd could technically move over. On the strong side. Not really. Yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. I mean, you could tell, though, these corners, like, clearly at least one guy needs to move to safety to boost up that rating. So let's move Lloyd over. And then who has best zone coverage of the bunch? Taekwondo, or we could go with one of the taller guys, Elodian, or buy turkey, buy him. Buy turkey, buy ham. Taekwondo cannot press at all. That is nor can Deacon Batista, by the way. He's really going to have to train up at that, but I mean, again, we're willing to see if we can get him to train up in that position. He won't even be close to being a starter this year. Because of that, I don't know. You can kind of play defense. That press rating is fucking atrocious. We cannot risk Ty losing the press. We can't risk Deacon getting torched either. So because of that, Gregorius is decent. In that regard, we'll move him over to corner. And then we also, at best, it would be Lloyd. Do we need to move Lloyd over? Not really. Honestly, like, the numbers are pretty good there. One of these two. We'll go with Batista, though, but he can't press. 63 or 64. Tough call. I think we'll leave it. 5 corners is enough to run for the year with the safety depth that we have. So is it totally ideal? Not quite. But it's also not a death sentence. But this way we make sure we redshirt certain players. So, at linebacker. Anybody here? Yeah, we need the guys that are decent in zone coverage to ideally be in the middle to start. Might have to branch them back out to the outside. Anybody with at least, you know what, might even be able to make the cut in 80. So who's here already? Yeah, it's still going to have to be a 70. Okay. So, Sheep Shearer. Move you to the middle. Let's move Chad Bloom. New additions. Also to the middle. I think Roy was going to be... No, it's at least a 70. I'm going to move Rick James Beach over to the middle. And there were 2 others. It was Trinidad and Clemens. Here's an 80 overall corner. Apparently, but it's more of a speed thing as to why I don't have him there. Although he might have been one of the 89 speeds, and I was tempted to double check those guys to see if it'd be worth moving somebody. Yeah, he was one of the 89 speeds. It wouldn't be the worst to move him over. 77 press. I mean, he'd easily be the best corner of the bunch. You know, yeah, maybe we'll go with him. Maybe we'll go with him then. Good eye, Moki. Good eye. I mean, yeah, you know. He'll probably get buried on the depth chart because of the 3 seniors, but it works out well that way. So in the middle, we got those top 2. These 2 younger guys that'll be red shirts, so either Roy or Trinidad. I want to move to the outside, and that's pretty much whoever has better rushing, which is Roy. Put him on the outside. Left side, 76, 76, 75. Right side's an 85. That works out pretty well. Cool. Defensive tackle, still good, still a lot of depth there. And then defensive end, I think, is okay at the moment. It's not outstanding. You could make the argument for the guys that are slightly faster, and you know what? That probably is for the best. Shakir, we'll put you back at defensive end. And then this guy here, Tim Terrell, we can also put him at defensive end. Still leaves us pretty strong at DT. Definitely soups up the depth that we have at defensive end. Cool. So the offensive line... You know, instead of agility... Do I want to go with change of direction instead of agility? Maybe we take that different approach. Maybe we do, because we've been going off of agility for a while, and I gotta be honest, I'm not totally happy with the tackles and how they play every year. So if we go change of direction... Get old Mo back at center. Looking at the ranges here. Yeah. Anything sub 40? Probably gonna have to be a center. Anything above a 50? Pretty much talking guard or tackle, we'll see. Depends on the numbers. Mysterio D'Imperio. Move you back to guard. Some of these guys just cannot fucking move. Robocop's got 35 change of direction. Like, that just kind of scares me. We do sub 50. Won't quite have the numbers I'm hoping for, but we'll be able to double check in a minute. Okay, so 67 change of direction there. A 74 for Stephen A. That's definitely a tackle. 69 for LeBron. Definitely move you over to tackle. Okay. So that's not too bad. So anything above a 50. I think our players we're going to have to consider primarily as tackles, although right there at the guard position, we're already pretty good. Yeah, I mean, we got the tackles, 83 and a 77, 89 and an 80 for the depth. Mysterio's already a great left guard. Swan's already a great right guard. So pretty much all we have to do is just move somebody over to be the backup. I mean, it's going to leave us with a crap load of good centers. But if we look, then I mean, bad to the bone might be too good to be the backup. Peacock? Someone like old Drew Peacock. Backup left guard, and then we just have the absurd amount of centers. At least that way, you know, these guys are mobile. They can actually fucking move and hopefully live up to the term of being a freaking tackle. Technically, we won't have the highest rated O-line in the world, but we will have people in a position that they should be able to succeed in. So, crazy how you name Peacock after yourself. Well, you know. God, that center depth is fucking hilarious. This is a little bit risky, but man, I'm willing to try this. Overall's not everything, as we know. For some of these guys, we've tried them at tackle, and it hasn't quite worked, so I'm willing to give it a shot. So offensively then, this is where we really got to figure something out, right? This is where we got to figure something out. We know the quarterback room is fine. Running backs. And the wideouts. Is there anybody at running back who can actually properly run a route that has improved in that regard? Kinda, sort of, but still not amazing. For the fullbacks, it is the same story. For the wideouts, a little bit worried about some of these guys. Jeremiah Lowe's in contention. Conrad Kruger's in contention. I'm a little bit worried about this potential wideout room. Jesus. It's going to have to be anybody that has at least a 60. 2 60s. Which means I am having to lower my standard here. Potentially even consider Wicked Witch of the Westerman as a wideout this year. Which is kind of nuts. Them for the running backs. That moves a lot more of them into contention. Bill Cincinnati's not moving anywhere. I'm not even going to fuck around and be like, oh, maybe he'll be a wideout. And he is not a wideout. That's my dude right there. Look at Schmorgan Freeman. I knew this would probably be the biggest pain in the ass in terms of reorganizing everything. We're also looking at George Gunter. Potentially be a wideout. And then the man at the very bottom, Mafu Fighter. Alright, so these guys here just do not have the route running, even if it's barely. They just don't have the route running that I want at a wideout spot. Rab, no doubt, this guy's a fullback through and through. This guy's a fullback through and through. So, that's fine. Although maybe a tight end, brother. Maybe. Can I move him? Yeah. Let's see what happens. So that wideout. And as long as everybody has at least 260s or so, that can be what it is. And then tight end wise, pretty much all these guys except Larry Rabb. Yeah, so Larry, you're definitely going back to fullback. So now we know that every wideout and every tight end could be considered at wideout because they're all going to be pretty damn similar. Now we're going to base it off of speed. So anybody sub 90 at the moment is going to tight end. And then if you're a tight end reject, you're going to be a running back. And see what happens. So Dominatrix, I'm sorry. But I just do not like the speed for you at wideout. George Gunter. You over. James Anthrop. You over. And last sub 90 speed, Jerry Lamar. There we go. So that does still leave us a lot of potential wideouts, especially freshmen, but all of whom have at least 90 speed. For tight ends, and then potentially who might get shifted over to running back, that is going to come down to, you could argue blocking, but to be honest, it might have to be the carrying rating. Like, can we trust you to actually hold the damn ball? Could go off of blocking as well. Yeah, I mean, especially these guys at the bottom, I think that ends up being pretty straightforward. Honestly, pass blocking is probably for the best. Not even so much speed. I mean, we could sort by speed, or we could go by pass blocking. Like, there's no way we're going to want to run like Angel or Devil at running back, though, right? Just too damn slow. How do we want to go about it? Not that we don't want speed at tight end, though. That can be dangerous, too. So, you know what? We'll go off of pass blocking. So, Morgan Freeman, because you can't block worth a damn. You're going to running back. Next up is Dominatrix. You're going to running back. After that, we have Jerry Lamar. You're going to running back. Definitely going to have some cuts this year. And the running back room's looking pretty damn good after these changes, though, that's for sure. And again, we still haven't even had the offseason development. Anybody else who just really sucks? Sub 50. So George Gunter and James Anthrop. Gunter's off to running back. And then James Anthrop is off to running back. And that sets us up pretty well. 5 quarterbacks, numerous running backs with freshmen in the mix, a new fullback, plenty of wideouts to sift through. Plenty. Tight end situation looks pretty good by that metric. Taking a bit of a risk with the O-line, because obviously we could just move some of these guys out to guard or tackle, but again, I'm worried about some of those attributes. We've used agility before, but we're going to use change of direction to see if we can get better results here. Defensive ends, good. Linebackers, depending on the development on that left side, it could be good. Secondary looks very solid. Yeah. So let's see then. Very intrigued by these training camp results. Just how much better we're going to look. 90 overall. Have we ever been a 90? And now we're 92 years in a row, right? Which is nuts. Well, Crack the Casey is definitely ready to be the starter as a senior, as Let Him Cooks continues to improve above Chili Con Heaney. But obviously, a 5-star quarterback would be huge for us, but Crack the Casey is going to be the guy. At running back, the former wideout, Dominatrix, has skyrocketed to a legitimate 95 overall and jumped Bill Cincinnati in rating. I mean, for a receiving back, power back dynamic, holy shit. Like, that 1-2 punch is unreal at running back. And then to have guys like Forbath and Harris behind them, that's outrageous. Wideout situation, we're going to have 3 very, very good players. Greg Ori, Cream from REDUX, and Alaka Shabazz, the former running back. So we're looking okay there. Tight end situation, 3 guys at the moment rocking at least an 80. Obviously, it could drop. This guy's actually a 79, so. Tackle, Stephen A. and Gage the Elephant. Not bad. Left guard looks good with Mysterio D. Imperio. We'll figure out what the hell's going on at the center position. Right guard looks phenomenal. Right tackle also solid with LeBron. Defensive end, Shakira and Joe Joe Novak. Holy shit. Woo! As a freshman. Redshirt freshman, but still. Right side, Nick Elback. Chupacabra. Tim Terrell. I can see why this team's a 90. I can see why. Defensive tackle looks great. Linebacker, Siegfried N. Roy, improving. Middle linebacker is amazing. Remember the Amaro and Rick James Beach, both looking awesome. And then right side, Prison for Your Grimes. Showing up as an 87 currently. Corner, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Safety, Taekwondo, and Big Ol' Cavazos. George F. Lloyd, and many, many, many merry men. Kicker's a 77, as is the punter. I mean, this is the best version of this team we've ever had. We continue to say that as we continue on. Of course, again, our backs will be against the wall this season. We have no room to slip up. It's promotion or death, as we have to cut 5 players today. The redshirt freshman running back, Morgan Freeman. The overall is just way too low, especially compared to someone like Gunter. Another redshirt freshman, like losing my Harris. Morgan Freeman's out. At wideout, Smorgan Freeman is out. Just way too far below other freshmen that haven't even been redshirt yet. So Morgan and Smorgan are both gone. Tight end, Reed some Brooks as a senior. He can go. 2, 3, 4. Honestly, Angel or your Devil can go too, already as a senior. That leaves us with one more cut. We're keeping all of the centers. Let's keep all of them. I refuse to cut anybody unless I have to. Which I'm probably going to have to cut at least one center. Actually, the senior left outside linebacker, Josiah of the Backbreaker. See you later, Josiah. I'll let you go, and there we go. We're keeping all the centers. Nobody's getting a good center, thanks to Ball State. Fuck you, I'll hoard them myself. That's awesome, to keep that many people. Independent status. The Charlotte 49ers are heading back to Conference USA to replace El Paso. And the UMass Minutemen are down for Western Kentucky. So Air Force, Akron, Army, Central Mich, and then the teams you see there are in that bottom tier heading into what very well could be our final season. So I'm hoping for the likes of Wyoming to get out of that bottom tier for one last hurrah. Navy, I don't think, has ever escaped the bottom tier. I don't think Air Force or Army ever escaped the bottom tier either. It just feels like they have been down there forever and ever and ever, just stuck. Conference USA, Arkansas State were the champions. They head to the MAC to replace San Diego State. So this is what Conference USA looks like at the moment. As, you know, some teams down there that we had a lot of battles with and that have just never left. JMU, Sam Houston, Kennesaw's still there. There's a lot of teams that just kind of hung around and never made much progress. Champions of the MAC last year, the Buffalo Bulls, one of those teams actually kind of getting it together. They head to the Sun Belt to replace FIU. Again, this is what the MAC permanently looks like heading into season fucking 27, if I'm not mistaken. Keep getting conflicting info about what the final year is. But, yeah, I mean, Liberty kind of dropped and never bounced back. Virginia has been a massive disappointment. Kansas has been a massive disappointment. Minnesota as well. They just, a couple years ago, within the past decade, they just went into freefall. Sunbelt, Louisiana Tech head to the American Conference to replace Northwestern. So that is what the Sunbelt currently looks like. The likes of Arizona to be stuck down there like that, kind of surprising, but good for teams like Monroe, Buffalo, kind of stay above some of the other programs we've already mentioned. Within the American Conference, champions were the UAB Blazers. They head to the Mountain West to replace Miami of Ohio. Fuck you, Miami. How nice it is to see you get relegated. You bastards. You absolute bastards. Gave us trouble for so long. But yeah, Eastern Michigan, Miami. You know, teams like UConn and Troy that escaped the lower tiers like we did, Eastern Michigan, but then you get the teams like Arkansas and Utah that fell down much further than I expected. Mountain West champions, Jacksonville, heading to the Pac-12 to replace Purdue. So that is what the Mountain West will look like as we approach 2050. Out to Coastal. Why is there a cap on how many? Probably memory issues with the game, as someone mentioned earlier. But yeah, Tier 6. Coastal did a good job of getting there. Louisiana did a good job as well. And you have teams like Colorado. Clemson is the big surprise. Like, my God. What the hell is Clemson doing down there, you know? Pac-12 champs, Ball State, heading to the top 4. As we replace Oklahoma State, right? Not Oregon State. But it was... I think I had a typo here before. I did. Yeah, it's the only team that makes sense is Oklahoma State. I think we accidentally wrote down Oregon State previously. Definitely did. So it is Ball State replacing Oklahoma State. And then Oregon State, we're already in that conference. Hopefully, I didn't accidentally move Oregon instead of Oklahoma one year. There's a chance that happened. In which case, I'm sure people yelled at me about it. But what's done is done. What's done is done. So the Pac-12. Yeah, that's where you start to see some pretty decent programs. There's a real chance we were actually supposed to see Oklahoma State in our conference instead of Oregon State. Well, no, I think it was just a typo because it's Oklahoma State. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Champions of the ACC. The UCLA Bruins head to tier number 3. Take over for Central Florida. So, this is what we are up against next season. Obviously, the ratings will change, so we're not going to worry about that right now. BYU, Boston College, Florida State, our old pals in Hawaii. We caught up to the team with multiple Heisman winners. And, you know, if we were to end this in a conference with Tulane and Boston College, it'd be kind of fitting based on our history with the older games. Big 12 champions were Wisconsin, as they will be heading to the Big 10 to replace the Washington Huskies. So that is what the Big 12 looks like, which again is tier number 3. Shocking. Bama, Texas, California won a national title in this timeline. Washington, I'm pretty sure, did as well. There's some heavy hitters. UCLA have won national titles. They're down here. There's some heavy hitters here, for sure. Big 10 champion heading back to the top tier. It is Georgia to replace Oregon. So that is tier 2, and obviously one of the big surprises of this entire series, the App State Mountaineers being in tier 2. Unbelievable. Former national champions. Insanity. Kentucky can go fuck themselves. But yeah, shout out to App State, man. 4.5-star program. Unreal. And then the top tier. Heading into what could be our last season. ASU, a massive surprise. K-State, of course, have won national titles. I mean, again, I'm pretty sure Michigan's the only team that hasn't fallen now. But ASU and App State are probably my 2 biggest surprises now that we've gotten to this stage. The 2050 season. We are so close. So close to the 30-year limit. So close indeed. You start off in 24-25, meaning that this is season number 27. Which means 27, tier 4, 28, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. It is promotion or bust for the Ball State Cardinals.